Hey everybody, it's your favorite gentleman, Marcus Norman from Gentleman Style Podcast Show. Today you all are in for a treat. We're going to talk about business. And I have a true expert on the show today who's going to help us take our business, your business, my business, to the next level. Stay tuned, stay with us, stay engaged. You won't want to miss 1 second of this powerhouse speaker on the show. Here we go. Hey everybody, it's your favorite gentleman, Marcus Norman of Gentleman Style Podcast Show. Today we have come into the stage Mr. Michael Teape. He's a training consultant and co-founder of Teep Training International. This man, since 1994, Mike has been conducting business and personal effectiveness design and delivery training, coach training, the trainer coaching, and training strategy development for a wide spectrum of clients. He works for the global corporations, leading training firms and universities, as well as small and middle market businesses. Mr. Mike has obtained unique and relevant market experience in helping companies achieve their goals. He's trained globally, provided expertise and knowledge in various companies and businesses and he has a rich understanding of cultural differences as well as a global experience in train the trainer skills. So please help me welcome to the stage, Mr. Michael Teape.
Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you for coming to the Gentleman Style Podcast stage. We appreciate you, sir. It is a pleasure to have you on the show.
Pleasure's all mine.
This man is incredible, y'all. His knowledge is vast, and he's helping us here to take us to the next level in our business. Mr. Teep, diving right in, sir. You have an incredible mind, and that incredible mind has taken you down this path of creating your company, Teep Training International. What is it that Teep Training International does, and why should businesses be reaching out to you, scrambling to reach out to you and connect with you?
Sure. Marcus, the Teep Training International, you said it's a global company. We partner with all sizes of businesses and helping them develop their people capital. So what that means is helping them learn leadership skills, presence, communication. How do we communicate well? Everything from sales skills, the whole spectrum. So typically a client will come to us with an initial need to help their people learn something, interact with something, get better at something. We'd work from there and partner with them to grow their people potential.
Love that. Do you have a mentor? All great leaders have mentors, coaches, experts who kind of set them on the path to where they are today. Who's someone that you admire greatly or has opened the door for you?
You know, I don't often get asked the personal mentor. I usually get asked, who do you know who's good at this particular subject? So thank you, Marcus, for asking that. I've been blessed with a number of mentors over the year, all different parts of my career, and they've all catapulted me when I didn't even realize that I had potential. To me, I was just doing a job. And I think the first person who doesn't get much airtime is a lady called Deborah Newton, and she was an HR director in a travel company, 4 or 5-star travel company in the UK, and she was interviewing me for a run-of-the-mill job, and she must saw something in me and said, "Do you want to start a training team with my supervisor?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." We're training people how to sell 4 or 5-star vacations to people over the phone, and from there, she saw the potential. She offered me learning and development insights into how I was coming across well. And from that's catapulted my whole career, really. So she's my number one corner, Debbie Newton. I hope you're listening. And she means a lot to me still now, all these years later.
Round of applause for Debbie Newton, y'all. Without her, we'd have no Mr. Teep.
That's correct.
Powerful, 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 sir. One of the things I did some digging, my team and I did some digging, and we discovered one of the things that you teach in your training is you speak to this and you coach to this and you teach businesses this on how to win back up to at least one day of their team's time every week, at least one day. Can you spill some tea? Can you share some of that expertise that you've done in your powerhouse training, sir?
Of course, yeah, more than happy to. Look, it's winning back time is probably one of the most important pieces of the puzzle, right? And I help people do that by realizing there's three sections to it. It's not just a case of doing your work quickly and using one tool. It's not that at all. It's actually all about, do I have the right sets as I come into the day, each day? Do I have that growth mindset, a future vision? And look, anything's possible. I'm here to learn today, an open, forward feeling and ready to engage, right? And then it's really good planning about about your day, what you should be doing strategically. Lastly, you fill that in with the tools that are going to help you. So you pick those development tools. You pick your one-page productivity planner if you feel you need that piece of the puzzle, right? And you add that into the day. And I can help people turn what they would normally do in an hour, they could get done in 20 minutes. Yeah, if they're fully focused. If you think about that, Marcus, right? It's people spend most of the day sitting as we do now, particularly during COVID,
Right.
virtually. And let's be honest, are they at their game every hour that day? Absolutely not. It's like, oh, Facebook goes off or whatever your social media is, yeah, it's ridiculous. It makes no sense to me that you couldn't get done in an hour. You could get done in 20 minutes if you're focused and you've chunked down your work. So a good productivity planner is something I always put into place. Giving yourself morning mantras, which I mean is actually looking at what do I need to tell myself today. Yeah, imagine the first thing you thought about wasn't about the huge emails list you had to get through or the contract you had to write. It was about, that piece of, what do I need to tell myself today? What's my message today? Who needs me to be on my A game today? Yeah. What does success look like for you? And giving yourself a break, thinking, what's the one thing I need to do today? If you get that done in the first 20 minutes, it catapults you into productivity and moves you away from procrastination. And I should leave that, I'm not quite ready for that.
True.
Yeah, it's all in the mind and then applying the tools. So that's what I would say, Marcus, for helping people out with starting to shrink down that working week into 4 days. It is possible. You don't have to work harder. You just have to be in the zone for longer, and helping people do that
Michael
is what we're
Teape,
trying
y'all.
to do.
That's incredible. Woo.
Thank you. You're welcome.
We have one quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Stay with us. Stay engaged. We'll be right back. Good day, podcast listeners. This is your boy, Marcus Norman of Gentleman Style Podcast Show. I wanted to let you guys know that we will be rolling out a new feature and adding a join sponsor button next to the subscriber button here at the bottom of your screen. Once you click the button, it will display 3 membership levels. Gentleman Gentry, which is our entry level, Duke Duchess, which is our season level, and the Emperor and Empress, which is our most sophisticated level, which you will receive unique perks and benefits at each differing level and gain access to our community tab. We will also be sharing polls, upcoming events, and interviews, as well as receive feedback from our sponsors directly. Your support helps me find new and exciting guests to bring to the stage live. Well, in order to get the higher end speakers, it requires, you guessed it, money. So thank you for tuning in to my channel And if becoming a sponsor sounds good to you, then select the join button below and choose your desired sponsor level. Let's continue to grow and serve the future of generations of men and women to come. Love you guys. Bye. We are back. If you're just tuning in to the Gentleman Style Podcast Show, we have an incredible trainer, consultant, CEO, and partner and co-founder of Teep Training Academy. This man just spilled the tea on one of the ways of getting your mindset right for business, getting your mindset back so you and your team can actually earn more hours in their work week. If you missed that, scroll back, go back, and check it out. These are tips and secrets of corporate America that you won't want to miss. And we have the expert here today on the Gentleman Style Podcast Show, spilling all the tea. Well, not all the tea. He can't spill all the tea, but some of the tea. So stay tuned. This is going to be major. Mr. Teep, sir, I want to pivot for a second. I want to talk about leadership.
Sure.
Everyone talks about leadership. The focus is on great leaders, and we've seen great leaders in our industry, the titans of industry. Were very motivating, very encouraging, and very just charismatic in the way they maneuver through corporate America. You've consulted on many different levels: corporations, big, small businesses, and everything in between. What's the secret sauce of being a great leader? Are you able to share on
Yeah, that's like how long? That's a huge concept, and so many books. Oh, your listeners can be like now they could pull over to their bookshelf and they could pull out a book with the secrets of leadership, right? Yeah, it's for me. I think let's go back to what you were talking about. We all know great leaders. Jamie Dimon was one. I worked at JP Morgan Chase, so he comes to mind. So I have two beliefs when it comes to the secret sauce. And that is you are the right person at the right time. You're the right leader that is needed, that company has right now, or your product that you're trying to put out there as a small business owner. Yeah, there's just a natural matchup. The second thing is that actually you sat back as a leader and you worked out what was needed by you. Is it that this company or my organization is being challenged and we need to pivot? Okay, so now I need to be talking future language. I need to be moving away, future focused, vision focused, not day to day. So it's realizing what's needed and pivoting your style accordingly. Yeah, so that's the thing that I truly believe that people do. And through my career, what you see now in my organization is not how we started at all. And it's realizing, well, how do you bring and develop something as you go? And three things you need are, as I said, what needs to be done. You need to know who you are. Now that's a huge subject to get into.
that?
But if I could say, look, you need to know what really you enjoy doing. I enjoy talking. I enjoy facilitating learning. Yeah, I'm not a details person. So I'm not going to force myself into that bucket area. I'm going to move to fairly towards my strengths. But I'm still learning. I'm still learning what's needed. I may never have done this to help this company with a challenge. And that's the positive intent that you see forward. And then you need to know the piece in the middle. There's what's needed. There's you as a person. And then there's the people you're communicating with. All right. So the secret sauce is that work out who you are, where your strengths are. Don't worry too much about the what you might see as weaknesses or development areas. Move through to, well, who am I talking to right now? Do they have the same style as me? What support do they need from me? Do they need some nurture or do they need some tough love? And then the last piece is what's really needed here? Do I need to disrupt the industry? Do I need to fix something? All those wonderful pieces. Yeah. Once you identify that, string it together, you pull yourself into that. That to me is a secret source of leadership.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So you've talked. So those are some of the marks, and I thank you so much for sharing that. What are some signs of bad leadership? How can we quickly identify some red flags of a bad leadership? Bad leaders, right? It could be at the top. It could be corporate executive in the middle management,
Mm.
and how do we rectify it before we get to the level for example, Wells Fargo CEO had to step down recently. That was made headlines, and that
Yeah.
was big. Are there some ways we can prevent that early on?
Oh, for sure. Right. It's so if you're running a larger organization, Marcus, I think that the problem that you have is the higher up the food chain, as I like to say, you get to it, the less vision you have of what's going on. You have less people giving you feedback. Yeah, less people in the organization. It's like a pyramid. Um, so without that understanding, the best thing someone can do in an organization like that, some of your listeners might be manufacturing, using Amazon right now to pump out their latest product. They need to be able to take a skip level down and go and talk with people about what's really going on. You know, how are you doing? How are you winning? What support do you need? And get a feel for that. Helps you if you start doing what I call skip levels, start talking to more people, broadening your area when you're in that level, that little you're in the penthouse,
Pyramid.
so to speak.
Yeah.
And you just don't know. You have no idea. No one's giving you feedback. Everyone's saying, yeah, it's going really well. Well, let me tell you, it's not. It's they're covering up. Go and have a look and sniff around, because if you ask people, how are you doing, how are you winning, and how can I support you, you will start to uncover how leadership is really working in your organization. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's never as rosy as people say it is. That's the other thing. Be a little bit suspicious. Be curious. You ask a question about finances, for how the finance is going, or the error rate on something, or you're having an update meeting. And I think Ford, it was there was a case study with Ford in the 90s that no one was bringing problems to the board level. Well, that's a problem. There must be problems. There must be challenges, but people are scared to bring it. But if they don't bring it, we can't discuss it. We can't help. So that's on a larger scale. On a smaller scale, let's go right back down to me really, and people like me running their own small business. Um, and really, you're not looking at other people. You're looking at yourself. Yeah,
It's
you're
true.
looking at you're looking at what drives you, and you haven't got much feedback. You've got you've got what you think, and maybe what a customer says, no, you know what, I don't want to buy your product, or not. You're not getting feedback. So things to watch out for are this: if you're spending too much time on the small details,
Mm.
yeah, the accounting details, running the little micro parts of your business, if you're spending too much time there, if you are doing the same thing every day, the same piece of work, the same report that's needed, the same website design, that's not good leadership. You need to be talking to anyone on your team, marketing people, your client, past clients. You need to be constantly communicating. It needs to be a movement, it needs to be a flow. And if you're not doing that, you're not doing justice to your business. You're actually sitting in a corner in your expertise. You're not growing anything. You're not learning, and you're not, putting yourself forward. Right? That's what good leadership's about. Yeah, you've got to put yourself forward. Yes, we might be scared, but as the old adage goes, like, do something that scares you at least once a day. Yeah, if
Mm.
you're not doing that, you're not leading well. You're just kicking on the wheel of previous invoices and money revenue being paid.
The
So
hamster wheel. Yeah.
the hamster wheel, yeah, you got to be really careful with that. So yeah, and if there are people in your organization, particularly on a smaller scale, is you actually do have to reset expectations, be very clear what you want them to do, remind them of that, and then lastly, have that difficult conversation. If they're not producing what you need to produce, you need to talk to them about your observations, what your expectations are, your feelings, and tell them don't ask them to think about it. Tell them what you need from them different tomorrow.
Mm,
Yeah, that's the way we help our people. Yeah, and because we don't have time to waste. Um, we don't want to get into a legal suit. We don't want to fire people unless we have to. Once you've found that person in a small business, you need to keep hold of them, right? And they need to
right.
be effective. Um, one bad leader in a small organization crushes your growth for at least 6 months or more for the year. I know it's happened to me
Mm,
and my friends as well. So we've really got to have that difficult conversation.
absolutely. Absolutely. That's powerful. That is powerful. And that needed to be said. That needed to be
Mm,
said. Michael Teape, y'all. First things first, I wanted to address one of our VIP sponsors to the show, Miss Erica Holmes. Thank you for your donation. That helps me, that helps support the channel to grow and continue to serve the audience, you, my audience, in the best way, and it allows me to get incredible guests like this on the show. So thank you for your incredible donation, and thank you, Miss Patience Dean. Truly, truly appreciate it. You are phenomenal. We have a question from Miss Erica. She asked, are you ready for this? How can
I'm ready.
business owners trust their staff without micromanaging them?
um, you know, That's a huge amount of work there. So the first thing is, how do you get people to work effectively for you? And that is not micromanage. Now, micromanagement is good when someone needs training and they don't know what they don't know, right? So that's micromanagement good. Micromanagement bad is when you're checking in on them all the time, which I have to say I'm very guilty of over the years, and I've been given the feedback, back off. I know what I'm doing. Yeah. Yeah, but you're not doing it the way I want you to do it. You're not doing it my way. In fact, they're doing it their own way, and it's better than I could have ever done it if my ego could get out of the way for a minute. So the way you trust them is you set up realistic milestones. Okay. So you keep them as close as you need to. Maybe you need to check in once a day, particularly with a small business, and you set the expectation of what they need to be giving you feedback on, what they need to be giving you updates on. So at least you can have a discussion before the end of the day and know where they are. Yeah. So that's realistically, with the micromanagement piece, is realistically what we do. The other thing is, if you don't let them have the right level of autonomy, and I don't mean just let someone, oh, great, you're the marketer, you go and do what you want, and leave them in a room for a week, because they won't be as productive. They still need their input from you. Yeah.
Right.
And they need the right level of autonomy to think. Just take a breath. And if you give them autonomy to take a breath, they start to trust you because they know you're trusting them. And you get more ownership when you do that. Oh, great. Okay, I've been trusted with this piece of work. Right, I'm going to focus on it. I'm not being interrupted with a million questions. I'm not worried about an email from the business owner asking me where I am after an hour or two. Yeah. So, end of day, depending on your timelines and who your client is, obviously you have to adjust that. Um, I like to do the end of week because we work on bigger projects, just to check in, and that's really how you do that. And you have to trust first.
Mm,
Okay, set expectations. Let them play with something for a little while, and then come back. I'm using the word play because it's organic. So, you know, people, once they understand their purpose, they will, once you've explained the why and your expectation, they're right, they want to do well. So they will try more, unless if you gave them specific micro actions on there. So yeah.
I wish I could give you a microphone so you could drop it. That's what's needed. That's what's necessary, right?
Thank you.
It,
Appreciate it.
it too many business owners, they're like, it's quick. They're quick to pull the trigger on the fire trigger, right? I'll just
Mm,
fire you, hire a new one, fire trigger, and they have high turnover that way. And the other piece is what you mentioned and what you just spoke to is the micromanaging piece. Micromanaging, you said it at the right time. If I'm onboarding someone brand new, yes,
yeah.
I need to get you adopted and acclimated to the new systems and processes of how we operate here. But once I've got you acclimated, there's a little bit of break in between there that I can, you know, give you
Yeah.
some rope now. And so, yeah,
There's one other piece that I didn't address because that was such a huge question. And if I may, it's about
please.
allowing failure is not a reason to fire someone. Failure is an opportunity to sit down with a person, work out what's not working, and raise their performance level. So that was where you would come in and help them. And some failures are painful. If you let your people fly, they're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. Some clients may even be upset with that. They may not come back, but we're growing something that's more than just one client. That's the other thing to remember, is that if someone's worth the investment over time, they're going to have to make some mistakes to learn from them. So yeah, sorry, I just want to, that's a huge piece that was missing from there.
No, that's true. That's true. If we are firing, if that's the answer, to just fire people and get people off stage like that, that's not the answer. Not always. It's an opportunity to grow. And as a leader, you have to be open to that. That's the other piece, because people, and we're going to talk about this next. We have one more quick commercial break, you guys. Don't go anywhere. Don't stay tuned. Stay with us. Stay engaged. We'll be right back.
Are you a local business looking to offer your customers easy access to cash without having to travel miles? We're here to help. At Norman Legacy Investments, we provide free ATMs with free installation that provide a suitable investment for your business. Even better, we offer you some profit sharing and handle everything from start to finish. Just reach out to us today to schedule a free consultation.
Welcome back. We are here on the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. If you are just tuning in, we have the incredible, amazing Mr. Michael Teape, and he's spilling some incredible tea on how to take our business, your business, my business, to the next level. And we are on the topic of leadership and micromanaging. If you missed that, on when to micromanage and how to micromanage and when to bring it active and when not to use it, go back, scroll back, and check that out. We are on all platforms: iHeartRadio, Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Check us out. Sir, we're talking on the topic of leadership. I love leadership. You teach to this, you coach to this. It's called the 5 pillars of executive presence. Why is that important? Why is that crucial? And why is that something we should know?
I think that if you go back to the secret sauce that I was talking about, is, remember I mentioned you need to know who you are. Well, it's a journey. That's the other thing, and it doesn't happen in a in your own bubble. But you also need to understand what you need to be projecting. So, what I would say is, yeah, it is kind of a SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of leadership. Right? Is something you need to do, but people don't know what to aim for. Well, these 5 pillars, we use it in a number of different trainings. What it helps you is to project your message, is to think about you as a person projecting your message out there. So there are some best practices and principles for that. But the 5 tips, very simply, is you got to start off with clarity. You got to make sure you are clear in how you're putting your message across. And as you can probably tell, when I get excited, the speed goes up and things get moved around a little bit. Well, the same thing happens for a leader. So it's practice and awareness of clarity, but also that the message makes sense. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second is, well, if you're delivering a message, you've got your clarity, you've got your points right. You cannot sound like the teacher out of Ferris Bueller. Bueller. You have to put some expressive communication into it. So expressive communication is the second pillar. And I don't mean we all have to be these huge extroverts, because we are not naturally, for sure. Yeah. What I mean is you need to bring things alive, bring down around your points alive. If you're describing something, use a story, use an analogy, paint a picture for people. Yeah. And bringing your passion into your message, the clarity that you have. Right. The third pillar is something that's called poise, and what that really means is your physicality, how you're coming across. Yeah, not your authenticity, which we'll get you to next. It's more about, do you look engaged? Are you engaged with your people that you're talking to, 1-on-1, 1 to 10, 1 to 500? How are you starting to make connections? And the little techniques that you can learn where you look, the pacing of all that. Very important when you're presenting big ideas to people and you want them to be focused still. So that's the first three, okay? Clarity, expressive communication, and poise, your physicality. The last three, I feel, are the underpinning core. And one is authenticity. What do you stand for? How are you showing you're being genuine? Okay. How are you keeping it real for your business? That's all important. So are you consistent with how you're showing up, how you're talking? One good example is to not get down with the kids, is what I like to say. And what I mean by that is that if you're talking to someone and they're belittling maybe a client, or they're like, being dismissive, is don't go, yeah, you're right, this client is a pain or something like that. Is to take yourself a level above. It's like, no, I'm trying to help these clients. They have a purpose. I'm not going to be easily drawn into not being authentic about my message that I want to deliver. So that helps build trust. It kind of goes a little bit back to the micro management question as well, is that people have got to be credible, and the way you do that is through consistency. Okay, consistency of message, how you come across as well. Don't fake something, be real, but make sure they get a consistent, even feel from you as well. And the last one is self-confidence. And I feel that self-confidence probably is the biggest piece. If you don't have the right level of self-confidence, if you're doubting yourself as a leader going into a situation, you're going to start to hesitate. If you're going to start second guessing what you're saying, you're not going to complete your full thought. So be careful what you tell yourself, because your brain is always listening. So if you have negative self-talk, which I definitely had a lot in my career, still do. It's like, this will never work. This is ridiculous. How am I supposed to make 400 people understand my message virtually? Is one of the things I would get hung up on. All your listeners, business leaders out there, I'm sure you can think of a lot of negative self-talk. You need to break that down and think, hold on a minute. Why am I here? I'm here to help someone. So that's my purpose. Why did they ask me? Well, because they trust me to talk to them about something. Okay, great. Well, how do I be successful? All right, I need to spend a bit of time breaking down what I'm going to say, talk about this area. And all of a sudden, you're building up your self-confidence so you actually can project a message in an influential and impactful way. So the last piece is the overarching bubble I've talked about before on the secret sources, and that is you need to know, what's needed. You need to know the surroundings. You need to know the culture of your clients, your organization, and your common vision. Yeah. So 5 of the key tips is clarity, expressive communication, poise, authenticity, and self-confidence, working on all 5 of those together, all combined.
Nuggets all around. You can't get this anywhere, guys. You can't get this anywhere except today on the Gentleman Style Podcast Show and on his page, which we will talk about here shortly. Sir, this has been phenomenal and this is powerful. Sir, what advice would you give? What if you had one more nugget to give, one more tool in the tool belt? What would you say to the young entrepreneur, the young boy, the young girl out in the audience that's on the fence? They're struggling to survive and make it day by day in their business. What tips should they focus on first? What would you say to that business owner?
Oh my goodness. Has to be positive mindset. The stress that they're under, right? I remember when I started my business, where's the money coming from? Where are the clients coming from? All of those are stressors. What you need to do is put a line under it and start the day in a positive mindset. Like, what is my mantra? Why am I here? Why did I start to do this? What's the one thing I can do that will help inch me up, get another customer? Start small and build out. Yeah. So that's what I would recommend for sure.
Powerful. That's what I needed to hear. Sir, how can we connect with you? How can we grow with you? How can we learn more?
Well, Teep Training International has a website, and you can find me at www.teep, which is TEAPE, traininginternational.com. Reach out to me on LinkedIn. You can search for my name, Michael Teape, on LinkedIn.
Oops.
Or it could be Teep Training. Brilliant. Thank you, Marcus. You see it on the screen there. If you type Teep Training or Michael Teape in there, I'll come up. Join me on LinkedIn. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a chat. And on there, I do have a freebie, 7 facilitations for the best engagement and interaction online. Okay, could be used in everything you do. And inspiring your clients, could be inspiring people working for you virtually. Let's make a connection.
Ooh. There you go, guys. You have no excuse, no more excuses. We are not living in an age, in an era where we live on excuses. Change that mindset. Change the mindset, and that's where it begins. That's the overall encompassing. That's where it starts, y'all. We heard it here today on the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. This is powerful, and this link will be in the show notes. So stay with us, guys, and check them out. Connect. I can't say it enough. And book an appointment if you want to learn more. He can be reached on. He's Googleable.
Yeah. You
Absolutely.
put my name in. You put my last name in. It's the first thing that comes up on Google. Can you believe it? Just a rare English last name.
Can't beat it. You can't beat it. That's free, and it's free. That's free marketing. I'll take it. I hope that. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to give back in this way. This has been tremendous. It's been tremendous to me and my audience. I appreciate you, and I want to say this to you publicly: don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Don't ever quit. We need you. We need what you're doing, and you are helping us take our business to the next level. So please don't ever quit.
Thank you, Marcus. I'll take it on board, and it's been my absolute pleasure. I appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure to host you. And thank you all, my audience, for tuning in to the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. I hope this has served you. I hope this helps take your business to the next level. And Mr. Teep was delivering tremendous value on the show today. Like I always end every show, take care of your friends, take care of your family, and always take care of business. This is Marcus Norman of Gentleman Style Podcast Show, your favorite gentleman, and Mr. Michael Teape of Teep Training International, taking your business to the next level. Love you guys. Bye.